Good morning, and welcome back to another episode of Personal Success Development and Thankful Heart Ministries, How to Have a Sound Mind. This morning, in this second episode, we're going to talk about some foundational things. In Philippians chapter 2, verse 12, it tells us, at the end of the verse, Paul says, "Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling." Now, why did I use the scripture like that? Because this scripture indicates to us that we have an individual responsibility to work on ourselves. Yes, it's talking about spiritual salvation, but it's also an indication of our own personal development. And there are many other scriptures. I got a list of them that we will read to you over the course of this series. But in this second episode, in this foundational episode, when we talk about having a sound mind and working on ourselves, it is an individual responsibility. And so, in developing our minds, I want to lay the foundation right now. It is your responsibility to become a better person. It's not the responsibility of the government to make you better. It's not the responsibility of your church to make you better. It's not even the responsibility of God to make you better. And I pause on purpose there. It is your responsibility to ensure that you become the best version of you that you can be. Now, if you want God's help, if you want the government's help, if you want the church's help, if you want the school's help, that's fine. But it's your responsibility. See, growing up in school, it was my responsibility, it was your responsibility to study for the test to ensure that you got a good grade. It wasn't the school's responsibility to make sure that you got a good grade. They have a curriculum, they put out the information, and sometimes they would even give you an indication of what might be on the test. But it was ultimately your responsibility to ensure that you had the proper information put in your mind so that you could write the test and pass the test. The same thing goes in life. It is our responsibility as an individual human being to become the best that we can be. And we would like to blame the government, we would like to blame our neighbors, we would like to blame everyone else around us for our problems and our situation, but it is ultimately our own responsibility for allowing our life to become what it is. Because in reality, you are what allowed everything to happen in your life. Whether indirectly or directly, it was your choices, it was your decisions, or the lack of choices, or the lack of decisions, that is the reason where you're at today. And people will say, well, what about this and what about that? I'm just talking in general terms here this morning. Let's not get too specific here. We're laying a foundation of principles. And yes, I believe through my own personal study, my own personal experience, that we are responsible for every situation in our lives, in some form or fashion. Whether it's our sickness, whether it's our finances, whatever. That's what I believe. Because we make the choices, or we don't make the choices, that put us where we're at. So, this foundational lesson is for you to really think about the fact that your position in life right now is your fault. Yes, that's what I'm saying. where you find yourself in life is either your fault or because of something you've done or didn't do. We all make the choices that lead us down the path that we're on. And so as we begin to unwrap and unpack our own minds over the next several weeks, this foundation is at the core of this whole series. You are 100% responsible for all that is going on in your life right now. Whether directly or indirectly, your choices and your opinions and your thoughts are responsible for where you're at. Well, I didn't get this. I don't want to hear the excuses. We need to stop the excuses. We need to stop complaining about what other people are doing and realize I'm just as bad as they are. It may be in other realms, maybe not in the same ways that I'm complaining about them, but I have my own issues. So why am I complaining about others? Because they'll complain about me for something else. Get it through your head right now. You are 100% responsible for your life and position in life right now. That knowledge is not only mind-blowing, but it is also freeing. Because if I put myself in this situation, then I can get myself out. Oh, sometimes we need some help. Sometimes we need some divine intervention. Sometimes we need some help from other people around us. I'm not saying that we don't need help. We are all interdependent in this world. But ultimately, your life, your choices are put you where you're at right now. So are you ready to be an exception? Are you ready to change? Are you ready to become someone that has a sound mind? Choice is yours. Let's do this together. God bless you. Have an amazing day. See you next time.